Hey everybody, welcome back to the next part in my how to create a quick great tone series. Today is all about utilizing stock cabs and dual cabs in our Helix presets to get them to sound great. Again, as always, there's a longer version of this video that will be linked below. This is the quick condensed version, so without further ado, let's get going over to HX Edit. So here is the template I started off with in episode 1 of this quick series. Compressor, EQ, I'm not going to go through all that. So we're going to add a quick amp here, and I'm going to go back to the same one that I had back in video 1, and that is going to be the placator dirty. Okay, so all stock settings as it comes up. Now, our options for cabs are as such. We can obviously come in like I showed you in the first video, and I'm just going to pick my Greenback 25 cab, which I like so much. We could choose that, we could keep it. Like I said, I like to get rid of the low and high cuts, but we could keep that with the 57 dynamic. I usually tend to like taking these over to something more like a ribbon mic. Which, you know, pull it back a few inches and it gives you a really nice, much darker sound, which you might have to compensate with some EQ, but they take EQ very well. That's how I would deal with, you know, a single cab. And honestly, I am a big proponent of using stock cabs. So many folks love RIs. They're not wrong. Nor am I wrong or anybody who likes to use the stock cabs. The stock cabs are very capable of getting any tone you need, and I've used them over and over again in so many videos. But what about dual cabs? Dual cabs allow us the possibility and the potential to blend two different cabs, maybe the same cab with two different microphones. And a really common thing to do in the studio is to take one cab, mic it with, say, an SM57 and a ribbon mic, and then blend those, the darkness of the ribbon mic with the brightness and the cut of the 57 or the dynamic mic, and it works really well. So we can do that also in the Helix. What I can do is I could take my cab block here and I can just simply come over here from single and change it to dual. Now you'll notice it pairs up the 412 Greenback 25 that I had with a 112 lead 80, which I believe is a Bogner cab. I can change that out or I could keep it the same. Let's just keep it like this for now, and I'm going to come in on the Greenback, put a 121 ribbon, 4 inches back, get rid of the high and low cuts. Not that you'd notice them that much on this because I have those at the end also in my EQ. Get rid of those. Okay, so now I'm going to remove this from being 4 inches back. I'll do the 4 inches back on the 120 ribbon. Now, what we have is this sound. The problem being that the dual cab block automatically, when using a stereo path all the way through, which I am, these are all stereo effects, is it puts one cab hard left, one cab hard right. That may or may not be the sound you want. If it is, wonderful, you can leave it alone. If not, you have to add a mono block after it to collapse them to the middle. So I could come down to here and just add a mono, very important, let's say gain block. And what you'll hear now that this is turned on, you'll hear those collapse to the middle. And you have to be listening to stereo to hear this make a difference. If I turn that gain block off, okay, so very important point about using dual blocks is that if we want them collapsed to mono, in this case I do, then we can feed it into our other stereo path and all the effects will remain in stereo. We need to add a mono block after it, which I've done here. We're going to do that for now, because what we want to do is we want to be able to blend, and actually what I'm going to do is, just for argument's sake here, put the same cab on Greenback 25. First one has the ribbon mic 4 inches back. This one, I'm going to go with the 57 dynamic 1 inch back. Now, it's sum to mono, here's the sound. But if I find that too bitey, then what I can simply do is I can come into the Greenback with the 57 and I can lower its level down however much I want. And we might get a better result depending on what we want. This isn't really about telling you what you need to do, but more just about the options. We could add more 57 or we could come over to the other cab and swap that around. Now, that is one way to utilize dual cabs. There is a second way, and I'm going to get rid of my cab blocks. I'm going to get rid of this little gain block. What I'm going to come and do is add, and I'm going to use the same Greenback 25s. I'm going to actually add 2 of them, like so. I'm going to grab one of them and pull them down onto a split path, as so, just to make everything nice and symmetrical. I'm going to come over to my split block and I'm going to change it to a split AB. And now I will have this one again, I'm going to set with my 121 ribbon, 4 inches back. Get rid of the low and high cuts. Again, because in the first video, I've added those in my EQ at the end. This one is fine with the 57 dynamic, and there we go. So we have the same situation now where we're feeding both cabs in mono. The advantage to this though is I can simply come over here with my split path and route either all to A, which would be the ribbon mic, all to B, which would be the dynamic mic, or somewhere in between and blend them together. So as you can see here, all A, ribbon mic, all B, dynamic, quite a difference in sound. Or we can blend the two together. Let's say I want a little more ribbon and a little less dynamic. I could blend it like so. If I want a darker tone, I just keep pulling out the 57 dynamic until I get what I want. Or maybe we want a bitier tone with just a little fullness from the ribbon. And the beauty of this also is once we do this, if we were playing them both equally, let's say, and we wanted to pan these in a stereo thing, we could actually come and separate these left and right again if we want. I could pan my A over here and with using my merge block and one cab to the other side. Same as the dual cab works, except here I could actually pan them less if I wanted. Now the thing you have to be careful of with this is if we move to one side or the other, we're going to have more volume coming out of one speaker than the other. All right, so for the most part, I would probably keep these in the center unless I was going for a very special effect, but the option is there. So we can decide to put this wherever we want. I usually tend to favor more towards the ribbon side of things, and we get a really nice tone with the ability to blend multiple cabs in a way that can really give us a wonderful tool to use the stock cabs to come up with so many new sounds. And that's it for this little how to create a quick great tone video. Thanks so much for tuning in, guys. If you want to check out the longer versions of these videos, I will have the link to the description below, but I also have 2 playlists on my channel and another called How to Create Quick Great Tones. So for those who want the more in-depth discussion, I have those up. For those who like these quick ones, just to give you some quick ideas to maybe mess with your presets, then here you go. So I really hope you guys enjoyed that. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please like the video and share it with anybody who you think would get use out of it. Also, please subscribe to my channel, hit the little bell notification to get notified when I put new videos out, and I'll be back soon with some more content. Thanks so much for tuning in and for your time and support. I will be back soon. Ciao for now.